if you've been hurt in your past, if somebody from your past who you have loved has caused you pain, we can also still choose to move forward. And we can't allow that to stop us from loving the people who are in our present or in our future, right? We have to learn how to move through that pain. We have to learn how to love God and to love others, because that is the thing that will actually set you free. Especially in forgiveness. That forgiving and learning how to forgive thoroughly as God has forgiven us, and loving thoroughly as God has loved us, that is the thing that will set you free and allow you to begin to love again. We've talked a lot about what it looks like to love and to forgive others and to be free from bitterness and anger towards others. But I think that one of the most important parts of the equations is learning to love yourself, right? Because you can't do that for others if you can't do it for yourself.
Trying to give something that you don't even have is so hard to do. Try to give away love when you can't even love yourself. That is a difficult thing. In scripture, it says, love others as you love yourself.
It's impossible to give something away if you don't have it, right? You can't give something away that you don't have.
There's no such thing.
You can't love another person if you don't love yourself. Jesus told us to love your neighbor as yourself, right? This verse, it appears over and over again in the Bible. It's in Matthew, Mark, Luke, it's in Romans, it's in Leviticus, it's in Galatians, it's in James, it's everywhere. You look in the Bible, it says, love God, love others as you love yourself. Jesus says that there is no other command that's greater than this, right? To love God, love others as you love yourself. And according to Jesus and to this verse, to the scripture, it says that the way that we love ourselves is to be the example. It's the blueprint of how we will love others. Truly loving yourself allows you the freedom to be open to other people's opinions without feeling threatened or without feeling like your opinion means less, right? Because you know who you are and you know whose you are. You know what God's opinion is of you. And so you can be open to hearing other people's opinions and you can be open to serving someone else. It allows you to have gratitude, right, for who God made you to be and also for the way that he made others to be. When you can start to love yourself for who you are, that's when you can start to love other people for who they are.
That's right.
And you can stop expecting
That's right.
for everyone to look the same.
I think
to act the same.
I think loving yourself requires healing. I think it requires a lot of healing in my scenario, my situation. Healing upon healing. But I truly believe that loving yourself starts with that.
You have to let go of shame, guilt, right?
So many of us, especially followers of Jesus, who should be free of this, are caught in this. Shame, guilt. That's not from God. We have to give all of our shame and guilt to Jesus. Give it up to him every single day. Give it up. All that shame and guilt. That's from Satan, not from God.
If we don't give our shame and guilt to Jesus and let him take it out for us, it's going to cost us a lot more pain, a lot more time, a lot more energy to try to continue to do it ourselves over and over again. And eventually, it's not going to be sustainable. We're going to wear ourselves out. We're not going to do it anymore. We're going to let the trash pile up behind our house.
Behind your house.
We're never going to
You're not taking it out. Because the reality is, once it gets to the dump, you don't see it anymore. Good luck going finding your trash.
Right.
Good luck. Because the reality is, you give it to Jesus, it's gone. It's gone. Your shame and guilt, whatever you think you're holding on to, it's gone. It's out of here. Throw it away. Take out your trash. Let Jesus come and get it.
Let go of the burdens that you've given to yourself. Nobody else put them on you. You took them on yourself. Other people's response is not your responsibility. I think that so often we think that it's our responsibility, like in our motives of loving somebody or doing something for somebody else, we're trying to manipulate, right? We're trying to get a response out of them rather than just loving them because we're so full of love. We need to learn how to hold on to the type of love that God has given us. Because God is love. And he is the only one that we can learn how to love through, right? It's his example. Him being sacrificial and sending his son Jesus for us. That is love. He is love. And so we have to hold on to his word. We have to figure out, who are we listening to? And who should we be listening to? We have to hold on to our weaknesses. So many times we think we need to forget and let go of our weaknesses, but we have to hold on to our weaknesses. It's in our weakness that God is strong. It's in our weakness that he is glorified.
That's right.
It's through the times that we're struggling that he can show up, right? We have to figure out how to hold on to God's will instead of our own will. We have to figure out how to start seeking truth. Right? We have to hold on to truth over manipulation and lies. We have to look to God as the only one that we can actually truly, fully trust. Because we can't fully trust ourselves. We can't fully trust anybody else. We're going to always be disappointed, and that's okay. But we can trust God, and we can trust his example and what he's done for us. We have to hold on to his words, his promises, because it is he who created us, and he loves us so unconditionally. He loved us in our sin and in our shame and in all the things, and he still loved us, and he sent us his son while we were still sinners to forgive us so that he could be united with us, so that he could live with us for all of eternity. He put us above himself, right? The Bible is a love story that shows how we as humans have messed up over and over and over and over again. It was the story of God recognizing that we were not capable of ever saving ourselves. And so he saved us through his son. He did it for us. You have to accept who he says you are, right? And accept who Jesus says that everyone else is. You have to accept this new way of life, right? You can know that it's there, but then you have to actually hold on to it and accept that there is this new way of life. There is this new way of thinking. And in order to do that, you have to let go of that old way of thinking. You have to let go of that old way of life and the old ideas that you thought about yourself. I think that what you think about yourself is usually how you think about others, right?
Absolutely, every time.
If you can't love yourself through the mess and through the pain, how can you love others in their mess and in their pain? What you need in those times, whether you're being destructive or healing, what you need in those times is love, encouragement, and grace. You have to give that to yourself, and then you have to turn around and give it to others. You need love, you need encouragement, you need grace. You have to give that to yourself, and then you have to turn around and give it to others.